Hi Year 10, it's Miss Hopkins here. I'm really excited to talk to you today because it's finally that time of year where I get to introduce you all to the opportunity of becoming our Samuel Ward Academy head boy and head girl next year. So this could be you when you're in Year 11. We only have one head boy and one head girl for the whole school, so this is your chance to apply for the role. Do bear in mind, you do not need to have been an ambassador previously to apply for this role. It's open to everyone in Year 11. So in this PowerPoint, I'm just going to outline all of the key things that you need to know. For instance, the roles and responsibilities, the application process, and key dates that you need to be aware of. So, to become the head boy and head girl of Samuel Ward Academy, it's a prestigious role. This is for somebody that really understands the roles and responsibilities, that has pride in their school, and that is absolutely able to be the face of the school at all times. So you need to be a role model to all students at Samuel Ward Academy and represent the school values throughout the day, every day, all day. You're going to support all of Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4 parents' evenings, other than your own in Year 11, because you'll be busy talking to your own teachers. And you'll do this by registering the students and parents on arrival, providing staff with drinks throughout the evening, and just being that point of contact if staff or if parents or pupils have any questions. You'll be able to direct them into the right down the right alley, down the right direction, and support generally as if you were a member of staff. You'll also get the opportunity to recruit, interview and oversee all of the ambassadors within the school. So by becoming head boy or head girl, you do lose that connection with your house. So if you were in Cavell before, you'll now be a part of the whole school. Because there's just one head boy and one head girl, you represent Cavell, Brunel and Darwin. And you do that by overseeing all of the ambassadors and working very closely with the heads of house, Miss Kirby-Smith, Mr Pickering and Mr Thomas. You're going to represent the school at all functions and events. You're going to provide visitors with tours of the school. That could just be a member of the public, or it could be somebody of some political stance. For instance, we often have Mr Hancock in school. We often give tours to BBC News, for instance. You'll be able to provide them with an insight to the school and represent us to the best of our ability. You're going to speak out in assemblies. So this doesn't mean that you need to be overly confident all the time. That could be a challenge. It's a challenge for me to do this now, recording on YouTube for you guys. But you need to be able to step outside of your comfort zone, step up, take responsibility and be there for your school. So you will be required to speak in assemblies, perhaps also at open evening and parents' evening to members of the public. You'll help lead and oversee the anti-bullying ambassadors. You'll help to organise whole school charity events, so children in need, sports relief. You'll help to organise those events. And you'll regularly meet with the heads of house to discuss upcoming events, and you'll take the minutes of these meetings. So the whole school structure, as I said, at the top here you'll have the Year 11 head boy and the Year 11 head girl, and they will now embody all three houses, okay? And then beneath you will be all of the other ambassadors within the school. So Brunel, Year 11, Year 10, Year 9, Year 8, Year 7 ambassadors, and the same for Cavell and the same for Darwin. Now, these two snippets in white are taken out of our student handbook. They're on our website. They are everything that you must be in order to represent us as head boy and head girl. So at Samuel Ward Academy, we know that students want to learn and achieve in a safe and respectful environment. You'll need to uphold and model this, just like all of the members of staff do at Samuel Ward Academy. The successful candidates will be individuals who present the very best versions of themselves at all times. They'll consistently embody the SWA values and act as role models to their peers. So you're polite and courteous, you're punctual, you're organised and properly equipped for your learning. You're ambitious and you strive to achieve your best. You're responsible and show consideration for others. You wear full school uniform with pride, including the correct PE kit. You're friendly and welcoming when we greet visitors, staff and other students. And you address all staff with courtesy and respect and use the appropriate formal titles such as Sir or Miss. Now, we are only human and we do all make mistakes. However, consistent poor behaviour, consistent poor attendance, consistent lack of respect, none of these things will get you this role. So you really need to be on board with the school values. You really need to be able to embody the things that I've read out here and that are listed in this white box. And you need to really understand the responsibility and prestigiousness of this role. It is not for everybody, it's for the people that stand out and that represent our school to its very best. Okay, this part is where it gets handed over to you. So the applications for these two roles. What you need to do is firstly download the application form that I've attached in the email that you received this PowerPoint in, or the link to this YouTube video. You need to complete that application with honesty and detail. There is no point telling us something that's not quite wholly true in it, because in the interview, that's when Mr. Hunter and I will get to the bottom of it. Be honest, give as much detail as you can, sell yourself. The application deadline is Wednesday the 9th of September at 3 p.m. So that gives you all of next week, it gives you the 6 weeks holidays, and it gives you the first week back at school in order to get this organised and done. You have until 3 p.m, but I probably would try and get your application in before then, because a quick application at 3 p.m. on Wednesday the 9th of September probably isn't a considered and well written one, and that does get judged in the application process. So take your time about this, give it some thought, really apply yourself to the application form. When you've completed that form, you need to email it back to me, dhopkins@samuelward.co.uk, by the date and time above. You also need to ask a member of staff to write you a reference. So you need to send them an email as soon as possible asking them to do so. All members of staff at school have been emailed a link to a SharePoint folder where they can upload their reference for you. This won't be shared with you, okay? This may get shared with you during the interview process, but it's for them to write about you to support your application. Once the deadline is over, Wednesday the 9th of September at 3 p.m, you'll attend an interview with myself, Mr. Hunter, and maybe some other members of the leadership team. This is usually about 20 minutes long, and this will be within the first few weeks back after half term. You will find out the next day after your interview whether or not you've successfully gained the post. So, the application form is a key part of your application. It's not just a tick box, you hand it in, it never gets read. We read it from top to bottom, and we read it in a lot of detail. We make notes on it, and these notes that we make will form some of the questions we ask you in your interview. So you should complete it with honesty and include as much detail as you possibly can. Really think about what makes you stand out from all of the other applicants. Why should you be the only head boy or the only head girl of the whole of Samuel Ward Academy? There are 6 sections to the application form, and each section is as important as the previous. So do apply a lot of thought to each section of that form. The role of head boy and head girl is prestigious. It is something to strive for. It is not easily achieved. Bear that in mind, because your application should recognise the high level of pride that you have of your school and your own ability to show maturity and responsibility, as all of these things together are vital characteristics that the successful candidates must uphold. I'm super excited to launch this with you today, and I cannot wait to start reading your application forms. Miss Bush and Miss Wheeler are both aware that this is going ahead, and if you need any support in writing your application, I'm sure they'll be there to give you a helping hand. As ever, just email me if you've got any questions too. Take care, everyone.